All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Indian Wells. Fourth round, second day of the fourth round. And we got Pegula Bencic. By the way, very strange head-to-head. 4-0 Bencic. Not only that, but Pegula's never won a set against Bencic. Which is super weird. Super weird. They haven't played for a couple of years. Last time they played was on the clay of Charleston back in 23. So it's been about 3 years since they played, and a lot's happened. But yeah, super weird that this matchup has been so one-sided in favor of Bencic. But look, 3 years is a long time. They've only played once in the last 5 years, right? So, I mean, you know, Pegula in 2021 was only just getting started. So, you know, they've really only played once since Pegula, like this version of Pegula. But still, that's a very, very strange head-to-head. 4-0 in favor of Bencic. Straight sets wins all the way. So, yeah. So, let's see if Pegula can get her first win against Bencic, who both these ladies have been sneaking through the draw. Pegula beat Vekic from a set down and also beat Ostapenko from a set down. Almost exact same score lines. And then Bencic took out Hunter and Mertens in straight sets in the same scoreline as well. So, yeah, these ladies have had totally different roads to the fourth round. Winner of this will take on the winner of Cartel and Raducanu. So, obviously, Raducanu is the one that most likely will be in the way. Also, Medvedev starting in about 20 minutes, so we'll get Medvedev on the card as well. He's playing Michelsen. I'm excited to watch Michelsen. I feel like, you know, we're talking about Tien, we're talking about Fonseca this week, but Michelsen needs to be mentioned because he is a part of that generation and he's been doing sneaky well. You know, just hasn't done that, like, you know, had that big, you know, surge at a slam or one of those things. But, you know, he is a solid, dangerous young player too. All right. If I were on court, I would be cheering for Vekic. Well, she's not there right now, so, you know. Vekic, she's playing in Austin. I love how people still don't understand how good Pegula is. I know, right? She's so underrated. She just won Dubai as well, so she's coming off a big 1,000 trophy. Yeah, so I mean, she is playing some good tennis. And she's got to be confident to try and get her first win against Belinda Bencic. By the way, who am I might need to be notified how to spell Enen's name correctly. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, are you giving me criticism? Are you criticizing my are you telling me that I'm wrong? I don't appreciate that. Why? Who spelled it? What happened? What's the typo? Can you give me some? I have to do. No, fucking read. Kim Kleisters, Rod Layer. I'm sorry. What's wrong? Ah, Justine. Okay. It needs an A. It needs an E. By the way, we've had this for weeks and nobody's mentioned that. That's right. It can be fixed, just not right now. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. Sorry. I love Justine Enen, so I'm so sorry. That is actually really... that's a terrible typo. That I haven't paid... I've got to update the whole thing because I need to add more players. Because you guys are starting to get it too easy. All right, 4-Love is the head-to-head. But yeah, thank you for letting me know. I'll fix that. Where the hell did I put the thing? Where did I put the... Bencic won the toss, elected to receive. Where did I put the... I've lost it. Where did I put it? Where did I put the trivia thing? I don't even know. Well, this isn't good. I lost it. Found it. All right, let me fix that. I can probably fix that. I can try and fix that now. But yeah, I'll have to add more players too because it's getting a little too. It's getting a little too easy. All right. Surprising that Pegula has never won a set against Bencic. I know, right? We're just saying that. It's crazy. This matchup is very strange. Very, very strange. Hey, what's up, Madonna from the Philippines? What's up? How you doing? Is Azarenka retired? No. She's still... I think she's injured. I think she's just injured at the moment. All right, here we go. Who have you got? I'm going to go Pegula in 3. Cam is still pouting. All right, 15 love. As we default, second serve. As the return goes the forehand of Pegula, and then Bencic hits a winner down the line. 15-all. Yeah, we're going to watch Medvedev as well. That match starts in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to watch him as well, yep. 15-all. As Pegula serves again. Up the tee. That's an ace from Pegula. 30-15. I think Pegula takes this one. I need Pegula to win a slam. She's already in her 30s. She's probably retiring 5 years. Yeah, look, I mean, 5 years she'd be 37. I reckon Pegula, to be honest, I think Pegula's going to retire before 35. As with a 4-4 rally. Another one from Bencic into the 400 Pegula. 400 from Bencic is a winner. It's 30-all. And I don't want Pegula to retire because she's a great player, but you've also got to realize that, you know, there's life after tennis and there's more to life than tennis. You know, I think she's married. I'm sure she wants to start a family, right? And when you're on the WTA, starting a family means you can't play. So, yeah. So you got to think realistically, how much longer will she play? She probably won't play till 37. If she wants to start a family, 32, But then again, players have started families and come back after 35. So, maybe she, who knows? But also you got to think as well, like, okay, well, she's doing so well right now. Why would she leave? She's in the top 10. She's still a chance of winning a slam. Why would she walk away now? She wouldn't, right? First, what are we doing? backhand return. How does this sport work? Anyways, that goes out, and there's the break for Bencic. First game of the match.
Pegula's family owns Buffalo Bills.
True. Now, what's that got to do with anything? That's true, though. That is a good fun fact. I mean, if you look at Ons, for example, she had a really good run for a couple of years. Her injuries and results kind of her injury and her results because of injury, put her down the rankings a bit, and then she now is going to have a baby. So you go, okay, well that, if she was making Grand Slam finals, maybe she would have put that off a little bit more, right? Or she was making, she was still like in the top 10, maybe she would have pushed that a little bit, maybe. So it's a tricky one because Pegula's doing so well right now. She's very much going to, be in the contest for slams. But yeah, would she play till 35? I mean, look, maybe if she's still in the top 10 in a couple of years, she might play on, and keep going. I don't know. Not everybody wants kids, right? I mean, again, it depends on her. But if you think of it like, in those terms, like 32, okay, well, there's life after tennis, If Pegula wasn't to maintain these results and she was to drop out the rankings in 2-3 years, would she then decide, I'm going to do something else now? But there's no way she would, there's no way she's retiring now. She's walking away now. That'd be crazy. She's well and truly in the Grand Slam window. I mean, look at Bencic, right? But the thing with Bencic is she's a little bit younger. So, she can come back at 29 and still play 5 more years. When you're in your early 30s, I think it's a little bit different, right? Pegula hits a lovely lob and it's love 30. Walking away in your 30s is, it's harder to come back. Whereas Bencic and Osaka going away and having a baby and then coming back, they're still late 20s. They've still got time to kind of... And Bencic is a great example of someone who's recaptured, straight after... she came back, she played 2 tournaments, and all of a sudden she's 4th round of a Grand Slam. You're Bencic has had an incredible comeback. But again, something to, these are things to consider. And they're unique to the WTA because on the ATP, they don't have to deal with that stuff, right? They don't have to deal with, any of that stuff. So it's definitely a WTA thing to consider, right? And also, look at Osaka's comeback too. And Svitolina. Right, there's so many mums in the top 20. 15:30. Pegula wants that break back. Return goes into the front of Bencic. Bencic overhits it. 15:40. Break point. 15:40. Serve again. There's a fault. Bencic, second serve. As a return goes into the forehand of Pegula. Bencic forehand to the backhand now. Bencic's backhand now goes long. 1-all. We're back in serve. One. All right, back on serve. As that goes out in the return from Bencic. That's 15 love. Arian.
Cam is GOAT.
Bah. Thank you for the $2. Is it a 4 down the line? Winner from Pegula. 30 love. Nice shot. 30 love. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the back of Pegula, Pegula goes wide. And it's 30-15. I'm ready for Zhang action again. She was my favorite player. I miss seeing her in the top 10. Hey, she can play on clay, so she might make a run once we get onto the dirt in a couple weeks. 40-15. Women in tennis often face life moments like starting family that can pause or end careers, yet they rise with strength and grace. That's what makes women truly amazing. Happy Women's Month. Hey, totally agree. There's definitely totally different challenges for the ladies than there are for the guys. As we're to slice now the backhand of Bencic. Bencic puts away that drive backhand, and it's 40-30. 40-30. Yeah, Bencic won a gold medal. Closest to a slam. That's... Olympic gold medal is not the closest thing to a slam. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. It's not nothing, but it's definitely not like the next best thing to a slam. It's not. It's not. Actually, is it? Maybe not. That's not the right way of saying it. It's definitely. If you're like, hey, I'm not going to win it if I don't. I think the ATP WTA finals are bigger. I think that's more prestigious in tennis. I don't think a gold medal is closest to a slam. I think winning the ATP finals is probably as close to a slam as you're going to get. Because at least you beat the best of the best. Olympic gold, I mean, you still have to beat the best, but I don't know. It's not as I feel like with the ATP and WTA finals, you've got it. That's part of the the checklist of things to do if you want to be one of the best of all time. Gold medal's like icing on the cake. I think it's like a cherry on top of the icing, right? You're right. It's like the World Cup versus the gold medal at football. Yeah, but like gold medal in football is not nothing. But it's almost like winning the World Cup is like the best thing in football, right? And then like Champions League is probably second, right? If you win Champions League with your club. I don't know where a gold medal in football goes. I don't think gold medal in football is second best, is it? Like, is Champions League more prestigious than a gold medal in football? And it depends on the nation. Just like it depends on the nation for gold medals, because some countries take gold medals way more seriously than others, right? I mean, tennis gold medal, we win them in the pool. So, if you're a country that your best chance at a gold medal is tennis, then you're going to put more weight onto it, right? Anyways, we'll talk about that in a couple of years when we watch the Olympics. We have this every 4 years. Bencic hits a winner, 15 love. Oh, by the way, Medvedev's about to start. Shit. Medvedev Michelsen. I'm excited for this one. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. We got Medi versus Michelsen. Medvedev really sneaking through the draw. I don't think anyone's really talking about Medi because you've still got Sinner, you've got Djokovic, right? But yeah, he's really kind of just sneaking through the draw, Medvedev. And he's going to play the winner of Djokovic and Draper. So it's a good chance to watch him to see what he looks like, because he's had some good results this year, but he's also been a little bit up and down, right? He's had a good week, and then he had a bad week, and then he has a good week, and then he has a bad week. So let's see if this is going to be a good week. But he's playing Michelsen, who has been solid this week. And I don't think they played. Oh, no, they have played a lot. 3-0 Medvedev. They actually played in Brisbane this year, and Medvedev got the straight sets win. So that's interesting. So let's see. All right. Nice play by Pegula, 15-30. She's trying to get her first win over Bencic. Yeah, I think Olympics is probably closer to 1,000 level. Great volley, by the way. Swiatek said she'd give up a Grand Slam to win a gold. I think it depends on the person. Yeah, but also, would she give up all her slams? Because, okay, she has slams to spare. So, you know what I'm like? If she had one Grand Slam, would she give it up for a gold? She can give up a French Open. She has so many. It's like saying Rafa would give up some of his slams. Of course he would. He has so many. But would she give up slams for one? Like, would she give up if she had one slam, would she give up it for, would she give that slam up for a gold? That's the difference, right? Of course she'd give up a slam. She's got 6 of them. So of course she would. But ask that question in 2020 when she wins her first French Open. Is she going to give that up? You know what I mean? When you've got slams to spare, of course you'd give it up for a gold. Anyways, 15-40. Break points for Pegula. I'm sure Zverev and Bencic would give up their gold medals for a slam. To be honest. The opposite. What makes you a legend? A slam winner or a Olympic gold? Slam. Slam gets you in the Hall of Fame. Anyways, double fault. There's the break. 3-1. If we're talking seriously for a second, right? If you win a gold medal and you get to top 3 and you don't win a slam, you don't get in the Hall of Fame. Right? And the Hall of Fame is the best players to ever play the sport get into the Hall of Fame. So, the Hall of Fame don't recognize that an Olympic medal, only an Olympic medal with no slams, is worthy of... And look, maybe that's wrong, maybe they should. But the Hall of Fame aren't recognizing Olympic gold medalists as a Hall of Fame. Grand Slam champions, on the other hand, you have to win a slam to get considered. No player in the Hall of Fame hasn't won a slam. You have to have a slam. So all those players that have won gold medals that haven't got a slam are not getting in the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame is the best players to ever play the game are in the Hall of Fame, right? So, I mean, that's one more indication, why Olympic gold medals are not seen anywhere near like a slam. And yeah, I get it. Players that have multiple slams would give one up to, I'm sure, I've heard Mats Wilander said he'd give up a French Open for a Wimbledon, right? Yeah, okay. When you've got 7 slams and you can play the game of, I'll get rid of this one for that one, yeah. But if you've got 1 Grand Slam, you're not giving that up for anything. Dominic Thiem's not, Daniel Medvedev, he's not giving up that trophy for nothing. That US Open trophy, he's never going to give that up. Not that he could ever do that anyway. That's not how the sport works. But he wouldn't, if somebody's like, we'll trade you that US Open for anything else, he'd be like, no. Nothing else in this sport will matter more than this. Maybe upgrade to, maybe change to a Wimbledon. Upgrade's a weird term. Maybe change to a Wimbledon, maybe change to an Australian Open, whatever. But I don't think he would change that for anything. But that is the best thing. That's it. Like that's his ticket to the Hall of Fame. You know? He wouldn't trade that for an Olympic medal. Olympic gold. There's no way. All right. 4-1 Pegula, by the way. Great comeback. And Medvedev hits the ball out. First point goes to Michelsen. Anyways, I feel like we're just bashing the Olympics. The Olympics is not nothing. It just doesn't have the same... It just doesn't have the... It just doesn't have the same... Doesn't have the same... I don't know. It's not the same in tennis as maybe other sports. It's not the biggest part of tennis, right? Swimming, gymnastics, athletics, it's the pinnacle. The pinnacle of tennis is Wimbledon. Yeah, the same weight. Exactly, that's the word. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything to other players. Yeah, everybody wants an Olympic gold, but it's not the it's not the same value. Yeah, it's not the same thing in tennis. Like I said, people don't start playing tennis because they want to win the Olympics. If you want to win the Olympics, you don't play tennis. There's way more sports that you would start running the track. You'd start swimming. You know, you'd start doing javelin. Like you wouldn't. You're not playing tennis to win an Olympic gold. There's better. You got better chances doing something else. Like tennis is hard enough. You might, winning an Olympic gold on the hardest difficulty is playing tennis. You want an Olympic gold on intense, like extreme difficulty? Play tennis. Otherwise, you'd go swim in a pool, you'd go run track, you go throw a discus, right? There's way more. Not that it's easier, but those sports are, the height of those sports is Olympics, right? So, everything would be pointing towards that. Whereas everything's pointing towards Wimbledon, really. Wimbledon is the Olympic gold of our sport. That is the pinnacle of our sport. You win Wimbledon, it's like that's the crowning. Even Rafa said it. I mean, Rafa wanted Wimbledon so bad, even though he won 1 million French Opens, right? All right, 30 love. As Bencic tries to get, again, we're bashing Olympics. Olympics is great. I love the Olympics. And Bencic won the Olympics, and she is a legend for that. And I hope she can win a slam because she deserves that. She's been playing too good not to be a slam finalist at the very least. As Bencic 40 love, Medvedev at 30 love. Yeah, Bencic not needs a slam final, but she is one of the best players right now. Hasn't made a final of a slam. Her and Svitolina, two of the best players without a Grand Slam final to their name. That'll change, maybe this year. The window is open. As the return goes in the backhand of Bencic, forehand out from Pegula into the forehand of Bencic. Pegula forehand up the line is too good. It's 40-15 as Medvedev. He gets a 40 love. Should the Olympics get rid of tennis? No. Hell no. There's Medvedev in the net, 40-15. They did that once, and it ruined... It made tennis... It's probably part of the reason why we don't talk about the Olympics in tennis, because it wasn't a thing for 60 years. Rod Laver didn't get a chance to play for the gold medal. Ace down the tee from Medvedev, 1-1. As Pegula backhand up the line, Bencic slices it long, and it's 40-30. I think that's part of the reason why we don't see an Olympic medal as one of the biggest things in the world, because in tennis, from like 1930 to like 1980, it wasn't a thing. So like Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe, Rod Laver, Bjorn Borg, Margaret Court, Billie Jean King, Chris Evert, Martina, they never got a chance to go for the gold. They did a little bit at the end, like some of those names, not everyone, but because they weren't, no Olympics in the 60s and 70s and halfway through the 80s or part of the 80s, it just tennis players were like, no, it wasn't a thing. So, so it just doesn't have that. But if Rod Laver had a gold medal, can you imagine how much more important the Olympics would be, right? It would be so much more prestigious if Rod Laver won the Olympics. Sorry, it was from 1924 to 1968. Wait, hang on, what? There was an Olympics in 1968, tennis Olympics? 1968, oh wow. Oh, but none of the Australians played. Like, actually. Oh, it was a demonstration. So does that mean like it was just like an exhibition? Oh, okay. Yeah, they did like an exhibition. That's weird. All right, I'm going to write this down because I never knew this. 1968 at Summer Olympics, there was an exhibition of tennis. It wasn't even did anyone get a medal? Did they give medals out for that? That's weird. Anyways, Bencic trying to hold. But Pegula with a good return. As Bencic serves again. Into the back of Pegula. Return goes into the net. Advantage Bencic as Medvedev love 30. He's looking to get the early break. 4-4 rally. Medvedev on the stretch. Goes up the line. Great shot. As Medi comes in the net now. Up goes a lob by Michelsen. And Medvedev puts away the smash. Love 40. Oh, man. With the hiccups. Oh, you know what? 1968 was this just before the Open era. So maybe all the players that were not, maybe they weren't eligible. Maybe that's why Rod Laver didn't play 1968 Olympics. Because he was not allowed. Because he was trying to figure out the pro. The Open era hadn't started yet. He's probably trying to do some work. Anyways, Michelsen at the net. Medvedev breaks. Medvedev gets the break. Yeah, the Open era literally started at the same time as the Olympics in 68. All right, Bencic advantage. But yeah, from 1924 to 1984, so 60 years of zero Olympic tennis. So, like I said, some of the greatest players of our sport never got a chance to play and win a gold medal. And I think that hurt. That hurt the. Definitely hurt the reputation of tennis, or the importance of an Olympic gold medal in tennis. Anyways, let's stop talking about the Olympics, shall we? 4-2 Pegula with the break. 27 minutes played. All right. Shouldn't all 4 Grand Slams be valued the same as a calendar Grand Slam? Aren't they all the same thing, equally and difficult? I mean, yeah, they're all obviously. Yeah, I mean, they're not all equally difficult because clay's more. It depends on the player. Clay's more difficult for somebody than hard courts and grass, right? I mean, they're definitely not the same difficulty. Just depends who you are. But Wimbledon is always going to be the the most prestigious one. Like, that's the one that most people want to win. Most tennis players want to win, wherever you're from. Even if you're a clay courter. I know Casper Ruud probably wants to go play golf instead, but I'm sure Wimbledon is, if he won Wimbledon, he wouldn't be mad. I love 30, but yeah, Wimbledon is the, even though it's worth the same amount of points and it's the same as every other slam, in terms of numbers, but winning Wimbledon is like Wimbledon champion is a different thing. You get royal box privileges, right? You get, there's just so much that comes with winning Wimbledon. Like, winning Wimbledon is the thing. Like, that is the top of the tree. All right, Pegula in trouble. She tries to keep the break. 15:30 as we get a forehand of Pegula. She comes to the net. Passing shot for Bencic. Pegula with a volley winner. Great hands again. 30-0. Oh, 4 slams. You said 4 slams. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me reread what you said. I thought you were saying, are all 4 slams valued the same? You're saying, should 4 Grand Slams in a row be the same as a calendar slam? Aren't they the same thing, equally difficult? No. No. I mean, it is, but no. Anyways, 400, brother. That goes wide by Bencic, 40-30. Medvedev 3-1. I mean, look, winning 4 Grand Slams in a row is the next best thing to the calendar slam. I'm just trying to I guess the calendar slam, I guess what makes the calendar slam more difficult is the fact that you have to do it all in one season with no breaks. As Bencic in there, deuce. Whereas if you won 4 Grand Slams in a row, consecutive Grand Slams, which is the second most difficult thing to do, for sure. For example, if you won the US Open, if you won Wimbledon, then the US Open, then you get 6 months until the next one. You also get a break, right? You don't have to, there's an off season before Australia, all that stuff. You can refresh. Then you win Australia, and then you win Roland Garros. That's definitely not the same as winning all of the slams in a row in the same year, right? Because by the time you get to US, not only is there a pressure to try and win the calendar slam, but there's also like fatigue, right? By that time, if everyone's tired, but you're like, especially if you're winning Grand Slams, you're tired. Like, that consistency throughout a season is there. Whereas if it's split over 2 years, like I said, there's an off season. You can refresh there. The pressures of winning 4 in a row when it's not in a season is not there. Yeah, okay, going to Wimbledon having won 3 in a row, that's there. That's interesting, but it's not like the same. Like, people aren't expecting you to win that, and that's why we call it the Serena Slam, the Nole Slam, right? All that stuff. We name it something because it's not the same as a calendar slam though. But it is still very impressive. It's not nothing. It's not the same though. There's so much more that goes into like staying healthy for a whole year, right? Even between like Roland Garros and the Australian Open, there's a gap. So if you had to win the French Open and win all 4, you could take a couple of months off and then go try and do it. But yeah, again, but you're right. It's 4 in a row is hard, but it's definitely there's a little bit more to doing it all in 1 year. Also, yeah, like I said, public pressure hasn't been done for so long. People, so much pressure. Look at Djokovic, right? We saw him get to the final and Medvedev got him in straights, and yeah, Nole looked, he was super nervous. Even the best player of all time, it got to him, that moment got to him a little bit, All right, Medvedev dominating, by the way, 15-40. And Pegula trying to keep this break. Serving to the back end of Bencic. Bencic in the net. Advantage Pegula. Showing some love from Texas. Hey, what's up? As Medvedev with a backhand winner, double break. Medi is cruising. And Pegula holds. She goes up to 5-2. Medvedev, double break 4-1. He is so looking so good right now. Remember, the winner of Draper Djokovic plays Medvedev if he wins. So Medi cruising through this match is perfect. All right. Medvedev 4-1, double break. Pegula 1 break, 5-2. Favorite slam besides AO? What about you guys? What's your favorite slam? Yeah, chat, what's your favorite slam? My favorite slam is Wimbledon. Obvious reasons. Australian Open's not, I mean, it's obviously my home slam, so I do love it, but it's not my favorite. My favorite slam is always Wimbledon. But I'm starting to, like, when it comes to, like, my list, it changes all the time, but Wimbledon's always the number one for me. Always. I went to Wimbledon. It was amazing. But I'll tell you, Roland Garros is getting more, I appreciate Roland Garros, but I feel like it's getting a little bit more, again, Australian Open, I'm always going to have bias towards it, but I don't know. Roland Garros is sort of catching it. I think French Open has an elegance to it that with the violin music and the, I don't know, it's got a class to it. I mean, yes, okay, the French Open crowds are brutal and blah blah blah, but like, I don't know, it just feels like it's getting fancy, and I like it. Like, it feels like Wimbledon has that, like, royal feel, but I don't know, it feels like, Roland Garros kind of feels like an opera, like it's still fancy, not like Wimbledon royal, but it still feels fancy. Like, it feels like you go into the opera, you got to wear a suit. Like, I don't know, it just has that kind of like vibe about it. Whereas the Australian Open's a party, and the US Open's a party, so you don't rock up in a suit at the Australian Open. That's not. Well, you can, but you have to take the tie off because it's too formal. But I'm really starting to appreciate the French Open, like the whole event. I feel like they really do I mean, it's the thing they did with Rafa last year was so classy. I love it. I think there's a different, like, vibe to it. Obviously, being being in Paris, and France is like got that fancy kind of feel, right? I don't know. I do like Roland Garros. I'm starting to like it more and more and more. That's why, and I do love the clay tennis. I can't wait to get back on the dirt in a couple of weeks. All right, 30 love. Bencic serving to stay in the set. As return goes into the corner, Bencic, 4-0 from Pegula. Into the net, 40 love. Nighttime on clay is fun. Nighttime on clay. That means the sun's come up in my house because it's those matches start so late. 40 love. Yeah, Roland Garros night sessions are brutal for me as a streamer. They push me to the brink. 40 love. As we get a double fault from Bencic. 40-15. Medvedev, by the way, just absolutely cruising. He is going to finish this match with time to spare. As that goes out, 40-30. Medvedev to go to 5-1. Have I ever been to Paris? Yes, I have. As we do 4-4 rally. Down the line to the backhand of Pegula. Backhand now from Bencic. Is a winner. 5-3. And I get it. But, like, it's not so much... Okay. When I say, you know, French Open's in Paris, blah, blah. I'm not saying, like... I've been to Paris. It's not like the movies. I know. I know. It's not like the movies. And personally, would I go to Paris? Only for the French Open again. I saw the Eiffel Tower. Cool. I saw the stuff. But I get it. I know France is not, like, Paris is not what they, it's not like the pictures. I get it. I know it. I've been there. But, like, the idea of it. It's like London. London is not, when you go there, it's definitely not like you see on, you know, it's not like, Big Ben and, well, it's got all that stuff. But again, it's not like the movies. But again, it just has, like, Paris just has that, like, Paris. Ooh, Paris, right? People just have that, like, reaction to Paris. So, it's in Paris. Oh, it's in Paris, is it? When you go to Paris, it's underwhelming. It's all right. It's all right. I don't mind it. It's all right, but it's not like, you know. The only place I've ever been, actually, I've been to a few places that I've gone and it's blown my mind. New York, Tokyo, and the Great Wall of China, and Iceland. I went there like going, this is going to be interesting. And then all of a sudden I'm like, Tokyo blew my mind. Tokyo was better than they told me. Medvedev, by the way, is down a break point for some reason. As he hits a forehand now to the forehand of Michelsen. Half volley's a pickup. Up goes a lob by Medvedev. And then Michelsen with a tween up. But Medvedev volleys it away. And Medvedev survives. Deuce. By the way, Pegula's got set points. 40-15. First serve's a fault, second serve. As we get a backhand return from Bencic, the backhand Pegula. Bencic forehand cross. Into the forehand Pegula. Again, the forehand Bencic, who goes down the line for a winner, and that's 40-30. New York is mind-blowing for sure. Yeah. Yeah. But New York was always like I always wanted to go there. I studied it at school. New York was always the dream, and I've been there before a few times. I haven't been to the US Open though. Not yet. All right. We get the deuce here on both courts. All right, first there's a fault by Pegula, second serve. Did I like Iceland? I loved Iceland. I went during winter too, so it was like ice. It was icy. It was crazy. That place was crazy. Like, just so... I don't even know. All right, advantage Pegula. As she tries to win the first set. Medvedev gets back to deuce, by the way. As Pegula serves the fault, second serve. And we'll double fault back to deuce. All right. 3 set points have gone. As Medvedev tries to go to 5-1, but he's also in trouble. At least he's got the double break, though. I'm from New York, and it is shocking when you have lived here live somewhere else and see all the tall buildings. Well, that's what got me the first time. As a backhand slice from Pegula into the forehand of Bencic. Pegula slice. Again, the forehand of Bencic. Crossed into the forehand of Pegula. Bencic. Down the line of the backhand of Pegula. Bencic backhand to the forehand of Pegula. Into the backhand of Bencic. Bencic in the net. Advantage Pegula. Ball by Michelsen. Gets one of the breaks back. He gets one of the breaks back. Yeah, the thing with New York is that I remember getting out of Grand Central Station and just looking up, and it's just like walls of buildings. Like it's massive. Like it is a concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Advantage Pegula. Take the first set. First serve default. Second serve. But yeah, it's just just massive. It's just Manhattan is just a massive group of buildings. Backhand rally. Is it a forehand? Pegula in there? Bencic in the net. Pegula takes the set. 6-3. All right. First set she's ever won against Bencic in 4 previous meetings. Yeah, and so many people. Yeah, it's just packed. Yeah, it's packed. It's just the whole thing. Hello. All right. First set in the bag, 6-3. Hello. Medvedev's got the break, by the way, 4-2. Mirra's up. Yeah, she's hungry, I think. 14 winners, 9 errors from Pegula, 4 aces as well. 12 winners, 16 errors from Bencic. Not the greatest set from Bencic. No, one second, chap. Okay. Medvedev. 4-2 with the break. But he's just given one of the breaks back. And Pegula wins the first 6-3. There's a bit of volley in the net by Michelsen. And Medvedev's got another chance to get the double break. 15-40. Carlos will win 15 Wimbledons. Okay. $15.40. As we have forehand of Michelsen to the backhand of Medvedev. Michelsen backhand. Again to the backhand of Medvedev as Michelsen goes up the line. Medvedev with a forehand again. The backhand of Michelsen off the tape. And wide by Michelsen. Medvedev gets that double break again. And Michelsen's getting pissed off here. He's not happy. 5-2. All right, 5-2 Medvedev. He's going to serve the set. Yeah, Michelsen is not having fun. He's still yelling. He's saying 0. Nothing's working, I guess. All right, 30-love Bencic. First game of the second. All right, Bencic serves again. And to the back of Pegula. Good return. Bencic gets it back short. Pegula with a backhand straight to Bencic. Bencic with a lovely pass. And the volley goes in the net from Pegula. How's the crowd looking? Yeah, not great. I mean, there's not that many people there. It is also a Wednesday morning, I guess, but I did hear that before the tournament, Stadium 2, they used to let, in the top tier of the stands, they used to let in ground passes, but they've changed that this year to you have to pay for a ticket to be in the top tier now. It's all paid seating. So ground passes don't get in like they used to. And I think that's affecting at least the numbers on court 2. Stadium 1, there's a lot of people there, right? Which is good. I'm looking at the top tier now, and that's the best indication, right? Because the top tier, if that's full, the bottom tier, if that's empty, well, they're expensive seats. So, sometimes people don't show up until later. But the top tier, if that's full, then you know that it's like, okay, well, people are there. But in Stadium 2, I've seen a lot this week, especially the night matches, they've been empty. And you got to think like, well, yeah, if you've got a ground pass, as soon as the matches outside are over, you go home. But if there's a night match on Stadium 2 and you've got a ground pass, you go check that out if you want. But I think that's a big miss this year. That if that's, and again, I have to do research whether or not that's, I only heard this, so I don't know if this has been true just this year, but, or if it's been like that forever. But yeah, getting a ground pass for Stadium 2, if it's like 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night and there's a match on Stadium 2 and and you got a ground pass, but you can't get in, I mean, and it's empty, like, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you just fill the seats? But hey, what would I know? It's $85 to get in on a ground pass. Well, that's crazy. $85 for a ground pass is insane. That's US dollars. That's what? Is that what? $85 for a ground pass? Is that for is that for the whole tournament, or is that just for day? Is that for day 1? It's love 40. Bencic with a backhand winner. Medvedev's got set points. (40-15). Serving to the forehand of Michelsen. Medvedev forehand goes long, and Michelsen saves one. 40-30. Why is it called grandpa? No, it's called ground pass. 40-30s. We get a second set point for Medvedev. Good serve down the team. Michelsen gets it back. Medvedev forehand to the forehand of Michelsen. Michelsen in the net. There's the first set, 6-2. All right. Michelsen dominates. So Medvedev dominates Michelsen in that first set. All right. Bencic with a break in the second. By the way, Medvedev, a performance rating of an 8.9 in that first set. A 7.7 for Michelsen. So Medvedev, by the way, Medvedev almost at a 9.0 performance rating. Medvedev's forehand and serve doing the damage. Michelsen's hitting some nice returns, but everything else is below Medvedev. The returns are good though. I mean, the backhand's pretty even between these guys, but 3 winners and 8 errors for Michelsen, 12 winners and 8 errors for Medvedev. So Medvedev playing solid. Michelsen just not being able to get winners. Medvedev actually being a bit more aggressive today. He's winning a lot more points in attack when he takes control of the rallies, he's taking them. He's also won more baseline points and also won more points at the net, which is interesting. So yeah, Medvedev cruising. Remember, the winner of this takes on the winner of Djokovic Draper. That'll be coming up tonight. Are you saying Ground Park? I'm confused. Dan, you better be fucking with me because if you can't hear me, then that's your headphones are broken. Don't be making fun of my accent now. Yeah, Dan. I feel like Dan's just messing with everybody. 1540. Break points for Pegula to get back on serve. All right, serve from Bencic. There's a double fault and Pegula breaks back. All right, 2-1. We're back on serve. All right. Michelsen serving first in the second. As Medvedev gets a 15-0. Michelsen serves again. So I'm having a look now. I mean, the Stadium 1 is also not very full. All right, there's also a bug on the ground that Ball Kid's going to have to pick up. I think this is a cricket. You can pick that up with your hands. Also, it's going to fly away because it's a cricket. So just like chat. Maybe it's because I'm Australian, but like that shit's not scary. Like it's a bug. If it's a spider, okay, different story. But like, come on, this is a cricket. You can pick it up with your hands. You don't need a towel for that. Come on now. Crickets are not scary. All right, 15:30. If it don't bite, it ain't scary. That's the Australian motto. If it can't kill you, it doesn't matter. Then it's fine. If it can't hurt you, then it's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, you can pick up a cricket. They're not going to hurt you. A cricket can chew through your arm. I don't know. What movie you been watching? Where'd you get that from? A cricket can chew through your arm. What? Very slowly over a number of years? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Come on. 15:40. Medvedev with break points. Yeah. That's a good one. All right. 15:40. Great serve down the tee from Michelsen. Saves one. 30-40. I got tickets to the morning session at Miami Open Thursday, second round women's, $115 each, plus parking. The ticket also serves as a ground pass. Oh, okay. So you got a stadium ticket. That's different. I think over $100 for a stadium ticket is fair enough. That's sort of standard. What's the ground pass, though, for Miami? Return from Medvedev goes wide, and Michelsen gets to deuce. How much is a ground pass for Miami? There's got to be somebody's got to have put a list together for this shit, right? All right, deuce. Michelsen with the drop shot, but Medvedev's going to get it, put it away. Yeah, not the greatest drop shot, Michelsen. Advantage Medvedev. Bencic, by the way, great return, and she's got a chance to get the break. To get the break again in this second set. .30-40, break points on both courts. Bencic in the net, back to deuce for Pegula as we're back into back-end rally. Medvedev looks for that break as he hits a forehand up the line. Slice from Michelsen. Into the backhand of Medvedev as Michelsen backhand goes in the forehand of Medvedev. Michelsen slice on the stretch. Medvedev backhand inside out. Michelsen slices again, but it's long, and there's the break for Medi. Setting a break for Daniil Medvedev. Remember, Medvedev's made the semifinals 3 years in a row here. Minimum. Right? He's made the semis or more. Semis or better, I should say. Here in 3 in a row. 3 years in a row. All right, Pegula with an ace. She levels at 2-2. All right. Yeah, Medvedev is dominating. Also, we've got Carlos Alcaraz coming up straight after Pegula Bencic. So stay tuned. So Medvedev. So what is it? Siniakova Svitolina coming up after Medvedev. As it a backhand pass from Michelsen. Drop volley Medvedev. Too good. Who would have thought I'd say that? All right, as Bencic misses the forehand. Love 15. Popular Americans are out. Only Alcaraz Sinner drawing fans. Others not interesting. I got to be honest. I don't think the American. I mean, no Gauff hurts the tournament for sure. No Shelton, no Fritz. Okay, but I saw Keys' match the other night had no one as well, and she is not. Madison Keys is a popular American. Oh, Medvedev just had an air swing and then somehow gets it back, and then with a forehand in the net. Wow, what was that? Medvedev with it. He's having a laugh. Medvedev with a backhand air swing on the lob, and then he does he recovers well and then hits a slice. Backhand lob. What a If he won that point, it would have been the funniest point of the week. That was crazy. All right, forehand out from Pegula into the forehand of Bencic. Bencic hits it wide down the line. And it's 15-30. Oh, that was a funny point by Medvedev. Oh, classic Medi. Meme-Medev. That was a Meme-Medev point. And then he hits a backhand winner just to show what he can do. All right, 40-15. Serving to the forehand of Michelsen. Medvedev forehand goes long. And it's 40-30. What a rally, I know, right? Uh, 40-30. Medvedev serves again. Into the forehand of Michelsen. Return the backhand of Medvedev. Michelsen backhand up the line. Into the forehand of Medvedev. Michelsen forehand down to the backhand of Medi. Into the forehand of Michelsen is Medvedev. Backhand up the line again. Michelsen in the net with the forehand. Too good from Medvedev. 2-love. Medi in the second. All right, Bencic. 40-30. As Bencic serves a fault, second serve. 40-30. Serve to the back of Pegula. Return goes into the forehand of Bencic. Pegula slice. As Bencic hits in the net. We get to deuce. All right, we get the deuce. As Medvedev hits the tape and it goes over for a drop shot winner. And he apologizes, 15-0. As Bencic serves a fault, second serve. By the way, chat, where are we watching from? I haven't asked that today. Where are we watching from? Is Bencic double faults? And it's advantage Pegula. Oh, Michelsen with an ace down the tee. Medvedev thinks it's a fault. Hawkeye says no. All right, 30-15 Michelsen. All right, advantage Pegula to get the break in the second. As we got a forehand now from Bencic into the forehand Pegula. Bencic forehand again. The forehand Pegula who goes up the line. Bencic gets it back. Pegula with a forehand long. Oh, she knows that was a bad miss too. Medvedev, by the way, great hustle. Oh, man, that was a bad miss. All right, back to deuce. God, that was the break right there. She didn't need to hit it that hard because Bencic was going the wrong way. Yeah, the reaction says it all. Bencic is like, Pegula's like, oh, man. That was the break right there. Backhand return goes to the forehand of Bencic. Forehand of Pegula. Into the forehand of Bencic. The forehand of Pegula. Down the line to the backhand of Bencic. Bencic in the net. Advantage Pegula. All right. Michelsen wins the game. Medvedev forehand net. And it's 2-1. Medvedev in the second. We've got Montreal, London, Florida, Nigeria, Poland, Gainesville, Cebu. Nice. Advantage Pegula. Florida, Chicago, Michigan, Trinidad, Stockholm, Arizona, Mexico, California. As we just serve again from Bencic. It's too strong. Back to deuce. Nevada, Connecticut, Sierra Leone, Belgium, Canada, Austria, South Africa, Guyana, Jamaica. All right, deuce. Bencic serves again. A fault. New Jersey, Pakistan, England. As we get a second serve, Bencic. Into the backhand of Pegula. Forehand from Bencic to the forehand of Pegula. Bencic. Forehand again. The forehand of Pegula. She goes up the line to the backhand of Bencic. And then Pegula with a backhand. Down the line for a winner. Advantage Pegula for the break in the second. Romania, Ohio, Portugal, all right, advantage Pegula to get the break in the second. As the return goes in the forehand of Bencic, Pegula with a slice. As Bencic forehand to the back of Pegula, Pegula in the net. Man, Pegula could have won this game already, but it continues. Back to deuce. We've got Utah, Berlin, Philippines. All right, Michelsen trying to get the break back. Johannesburg. Nice. Love 15 is Medvedev slice to the slice of Michelsen. Medvedev comes down with a forehand winner. It's 15-all. As Bencic gets to advantage. Advantage Bencic to take the lead in this second set. Serving to the forehand. Pegula, return winner. All right, back to deuce. I'll tell you this, chat. Pegula's getting a lot of cheers, and I reckon it's because she's the last American hope. She's getting a lot of support. Not that she doesn't get support anyway, but there are times when she plays in America and she's not the crowd favorite because, Gauff's there and Isamova, Keys. But I think because she's the last American in the draw on the women's side, she's getting, they're all going, she can win, and that she's a legitimate chance of winning. They've all put, it feels like everybody's, and I mean, on the men's side, it's only Michelsen left, isn't it? And Tien. Michelsen and Tien are left. But yeah, it feels, I don't know, she doesn't always get the crowd like going crazy for her. But this week, maybe she will. Because she's the only chance they got on the women's side. So they're probably going to go all in on Pegula, which I love that. She deserves that. All right, advantage Pegula. To get the break. And how good would it be if Pegula won Indian Wells? Especially with the field that's playing, I mean, with Raducanu, Swiatek, Sabalenka all in the draw still. Mboko, Svitolina. I mean, what a great win that would be. 400 rally. As she goes down the line, Pegula, that's a winner. All right, Pegula's got the set and the break. Great to see her win Indian Wells. That'd be so cool. Okay. All right. All right. Pegula could use the prize money. Hey, look. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yep. I mean, most of these players could use the prize money, right? Everybody could use the prize money. You could use the prize money. I could use the prize money. We could all use the prize money. All right, advantage Medvedev. By the way, Indian Wells is the Wimbledon of 1000s, right? We can say that safely, right? Like winning Indian Wells is as if you won Wimbledon in the slams. It's a little bit more important. It's a little bit better. It's seen as a little bit more like, oh, you won Indian Wells. Like Fritz winning Indian Wells is probably more impressive than winning, I'm not going to say Canada, Cincinnati. I feel like I say Canada a lot, and I don't want to do that. It's more impressive than winning Paris indoors, right? So Pegula winning Indian Wells would be her bet. I mean, she has won Canada too, so maybe it was a better comparison. Winning Indian Wells is like, it feels like a bigger trophy, bigger tournament. Like, oh, you're Indian Wells champion. Oh, okay. Like that's that's more impressive than Miami, if we're going to compare the two. All right, 15 love. As with a forehand rally. Medvedev, by the way, keeps that break 3-1. As with a forehand from Bencic to the back of Pegula. Bencic with the volley. Pegula passing shot winner. Beautiful forehand. Great accuracy. Unless it's Norrie in 2021. What? Norrie winning is impressive. What are you talking about? There's Medvedev with a lovely forehand up the line. Love 15. Why though? Reputation. Yeah, it's just seen as it's called the fifth slam, or as I've heard it this week be referenced as the Slam of the West, which I think is so much cooler. West Coast Slam. I love it. I love that way more. Yeah, it's just more. It's because, and this is sort of a bit of a guesstimation. 40 love here, Pegula, as she serves. A fault second serve. Michelsen, by the way, rips a forehand winner, 15-0. Serving to the back end of Pegula. Return goes up the line. That's a good shot, 40-15. Before the Middle Eastern swing was a thing, there was no massive events between Australia and Indian Wells. So the first time after the Australian Open we saw the best names in the world, or the biggest names in the world, was Indian Wells, right? Because the schedule was like February, nothing happened. Now we've got 1000s in February, blah, blah, blah. But like Djokovic didn't play until now, right? Sabalenka hasn't played till now. So it's the first time we see the gang back together, right? The best players in the world are all here. There's a couple of exceptions, but it's the first time that since the Australian Open we've had a full roster of the best of the best. And I think that's what makes Indian Wells special. Because Miami, there's going to be withdrawals, right? We think, Gauff's not 100%. Alcaraz and Swiatek. Swiatek had a little bit of a scare today, but she's okay, I think. Alcaraz has had an ankle issue in his last match. We'll see how he looks in a bit. Does Djokovic play Miami? He's got an arm issue apparently as well. So Miami's probably going to have a lot more withdrawals because it just does. The Middle Eastern tournaments are optional. At least players choose not to play them. Like Sabalenka didn't play them. Swiatek didn't play Dubai, whatever. And then, if you look after that, you go, okay, well, Madrid and Rome, a lot of players, it seems like Madrid doesn't always get the best players all the time. Rome gets a pretty good list, but it's just before a Grand Slam, so most players might not want to risk playing Rome and then Roland Garros. Wimbledon, obviously, is there. But then, Canada, Cincinnati. Cincinnati's pretty big, but I wouldn't put it in the same category. And then the Asian swing is definitely not as big as Indian Wells. So it just has that, I don't know. It's just it always feels like it's just such a big event, right? And it's just got the best players. As Michelsen hits a ridiculous volley, it's 30-40. It just has that Grand Slam quality. Plus, it's also the second biggest stadium in the world, tennis stadium in the world. So that helps, right? So the crowds are Grand Slam crowds, right? And the venue is a Grand Slam venue, it feels, right? It just has a totally different... Whereas all the other 1000s, or at least most of them, except for Miami, because that's putting on a big car park, but all the other 1000s feel like little venues and small... actually, no. Maybe Cincinnati's not... Cincinnati feels pretty big. But Canada's small and also split over two different cities. Monte Carlo's small... Paris is small. Shanghai is probably in a similar position to this when it comes to but it's just not as important to players to play that event. A lot of players skip that event, right? Also, it's not a combined event. Combined event matters as well. If it's not a combined event and you don't have men and women playing at the same venue, that definitely doesn't feel like a Grand Slam, right? Also, it's got a mixed doubles competition, right? Nowhere else has mixed doubles. Grand Slams have mixed doubles, right? So that adds to it. So I don't know. It just has so much. It just has so many Grand Slam qualities, And if you were to make it a Grand Slam, I don't think many people would argue with it because it does feel like a Grand Slam. It's got history. It's got its own look. We talked about the color of the courts. The net's purple, right? It's got its own... Indian Wells has its own... it's in a beautiful location. The palm trees. What other tournament has a palm... what other none of the Grand Slams have palm trees and mountain ranges, right? Not even Australia has palm trees, and we're next to the beach. So, it just it just has... There's just so much going for Indian Wells that it feels so much bigger than any other tournament. outside of the slams. Drop volley is good by Michelsen, but Medvedev gets it back. And then Michelsen's racket goes flying. And Medvedev gets to advantage for a double break as Pegula gets the deuce. She's looking for a double break too. Almost most suited time for a fifth slam as per calendar. Well, yeah, I mean, March is the perfect time for an extra slam, right? I think that helps too, the scheduling of it as well. There are palm trees in Australia, but it's not like Melbourne. There are palm trees up north, but palm trees aren't really known. Like, we don't have palm trees in Melbourne. It's not that common. We have kangaroos. All right, Michelsen gets the deuce. We have beaches, but there's not really palm trees at the beach in Melbourne. Not like not like California. I mean, California's got its own vibe, you know. Does Monte Carlo have palm trees? That seems weird. Rome's a pretty big venue, a pretty epic venue. It is epic, but I still think Indian Wells is closer to slam levels, I reckon. Where's Runa? He's got an Achilles injury. He's injured. All right, advantage Michelsen to keep this match alive. As a return goes in the forehand of Michelsen, but Michelsen in the net. Medvedev hit the baseline. Deuce. As Pegula with the advantage. Bencic with the advantage. Pegula puts it in the net. And it's 4-3, setting a break for Pegula. Do we have cats in Australia? Yes. All right, return goes into the forehand of Michelsen. Forehand now from Medvedev. As Michelsen forehand to the forehand of Medvedev on the stretch. Michelsen with a volley. Medvedev with a pass. Michelsen with a volley. Medvedev can't get there. And it's advantage Michelsen. We did get to 289. Hey! Thank you for everybody joining. 289K. That's crazy. We're almost at... we're edging closer to 300. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you, everybody who's joined us over the last few weeks. Or over the last year. I think we started the year off at 270-something. 275, I want to say. So thank you, everybody who's joined this year. Welcome. It's a big year. 2026. 2026 is going to be... it's already been a big year. We've already had a big year. So thank you for joining the ride. Hopefully enjoy your stay. Just make sure you keep your hands inside the cart. You know, don't be waving your hands around. Not too much. All right, 3-2 Michelsen holds. Yeah, fasten your seatbelts too. You know? Make sure your seatbelts are fastened. Monaco does have palm trees. Okay. Well, I haven't been there. But fair enough. It is by the ocean. All right. 4-3. Pegula with the break in the second as that goes in the net by Bencic. 15 love. Great serve, Pegula. 30 love. 30 love. By the way, today is day 70 of the streak. The unintentional, accidental streaming streak. 70 days in a row. It's probably a tennis world record. I guess. I'm just going to have to make my own certificate. I'll just print it put it on the wall. That's so stupid. I'll just print like a Guinness Book of Records like like fake paper certificate. It'd just be like most days stream tennis in a row on YouTube. Oh, that's so dumb. All right. Anyways, thank you for being here every day. 40-15. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As that goes out by Bencic on the return. 5-3 Pegula. Someone snatching up all your DVDs at the thrift. Bro, I've got the DVDs. I might actually go to the thrift today because it's Thursday and Thursdays are the best days. Also, Djokovic, after the Djokovic match, we don't have anything after the Djokovic match. So that actually is good. All right. I'm taking a week off after Miami. Deb, you earned it. You deserve it. Even if I go live, you don't have to be. By the way, if I go live after Miami, there's not going to be anything to watch. Like, it's not going to be. I don't think people are going to go crazy. So, yeah, you earned it. All right, 30 love. Bencic serving to stay in the match. What do you think of Fonseca Sinner yesterday? Oh, great. The best match of the year. I'd put that match up against the Australian Open semis. Lauren. Thank you for the $2. Performance stats. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. Good question. I don't know why the pirate didn't read it out. Arian. So the Pirates gone moot. Yeah, we'll get many stats. Thank you for the donations. 40 love. Bencic to hold. $40 love. Medvedev with a set and a break. So Medvedev currently is at a 9.0. Performance rating, and Michelsen at a 7.9. So Michelsen has gotten better. He has gotten better. And Medvedev's maintained as Bencic holds. So yeah, Medvedev is playing about the same. He's averaging about a 9 this tournament, or this match. Michelsen's he was getting slightly better. Medvedev, by the way, shot quality in the 8s across the board. 8.4 for serve, 8.2 for returns, 8.6 for forehands, 8.0 for backhands. Now, for the shot quality, we've been working with Tennis Insights for a few years now, talking about tennis. If you've been watching the previews over the last few years, you'll know that what we're going on about. But when somebody has an 8, if somebody's got a 9, it's ridiculous, right? 9 is like off the charts, crazy good. An 8 is like very good, right? If you're in the 8s, and if you've got an 8 across the board, it means you're playing very good. If you've got a below a 6, that's when you're sort of like, oh, not going great. That's not great. But between 6 and 7, if you're in the 7s, that's good. 7's about average. Like the tour averages are sort of on return. The tour averages. Hang on, where are we? Yeah, so tour averages for serves are about a 7.9. Returns about a 6.4. 7 for forehand, 7 for backhand. So 7 is good. It's the average, right? It's good. You're doing good. But anything above an 8, anything above a 9 is fantastic. And then anything below a 6, you got to be like, well, on the forehand and backhand, if you're below a 7, it's not great. Below a 6 is like, okay, you're having a bad day. So yeah, so that's when I do say these numbers, just keep that in mind. Going, okay, well, because some people might think that like a a 6 is good. I don't know. But 6 is like below average. Could be better. 7 is average. Think of 7 as the average. So anything on a if you're doing 7's is good. Like Michelsen, for example, he's got a 7.8 on the serve. That's good. 8.7 on the return. That's great. 7.8, 7.7 on the ground strokes. That's good. It's solid. Medvedev's just got 8 all around. So he's just Medvedev's just kicking butt. And same with the performance rating. So performance rating, the average for the tour is a 7.3, right? So 7 to 7.5, that's good. If you're in that range, that's good. If you're above that, you're doing all right. If you're in the 9s, phenomenal. Like Medvedev's at a 9, his average is an 8.2. So he is playing a lot better today than he has over the last year. Whereas Michelsen's average is about a 7.1, but he's at an 8 today. So he's actually playing pretty well, Michelsen, compared to usual. But Medvedev's just playing better, way better. So Michelsen's, it's not a bad day for Michelsen. He's actually been decent compared to usual. But maybe that has something to do with the opponent, right? You play against a better player, you play better. But he's not playing better than Medvedev, and that's what matters. Right? That's where the score. If you look at the scoreboard, you're like, well, why isn't he winning if he's playing better than usual? He's playing better than himself. He's playing better than a version of himself yesterday, but he's not playing better than this Medvedev, right? Medvedev playing in the 9. If you're in the 9s, you're having a phenomenal day. All right, Bencic with the breakback points. All right, advantage Michelsen, by the way, and he says in this match, 4-3 Medvedev with the break. All right, 15-40 here, Bencic to break back. 4-4-hand rally. Bencic down the line for a winner. Wow. Okay. Out of nowhere, Bencic gets back on serve. Okay. We're back on serve. Bencic with the breakback. 5-5. Alcaraz is playing after the Bencic Pegula match. All right, 5-all. As Bencic serves again. That's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As a return the net from Pegula. 15-love. Remember, Pegula's never beaten Bencic. Bencic leads 4-0 against Pegula. Also, before today, never won a set against Bencic. So she's done one better today than she has in the past. But yeah, never beaten her. No schedule yet. Yeah, tomorrow's schedule is very important because I have to work around my I have a lot of things to do tomorrow, so when the schedule comes out, that's going to be a very important schedule. I really hope that two matches aren't I really hope there aren't two matches at night tomorrow. All right. All right, 15-all. Pegula wants that break back. All right, it's a fault from Bencic, second serve. As Bencic looking tired. She can't get that one back. 15-30. Medvedev 30-love. He is not feeling generous right now. Yeah, Medvedev's going to play the winner of Djokovic and Draper, who are playing tonight. And Medvedev serves an ace. 40-love. These two did play in Brisbane, and it was pretty one-sided then for Medvedev as well. So no surprise maybe no surprises is happening. Let me have a look what Medvedev's PR was back then. As Medvedev holds. So Medvedev Michelsen in Brisbane. Medvedev was 6-4, 6-2 that day. Medvedev was an 8.3. Michelsen was a 7.9. So again, Michelsen didn't play badly. He just didn't. They both had 8 break points, and Michelsen got broken more. So again, I don't think Michelsen will be too bothered by this. Like, it's annoying that he's not getting. He should be winning a set in these matches. Like, he should have won a set in Brisbane. He had 8 break points. He only got 1 break, and he got broken 4 times. So he just didn't convert the break points that day. He served 7 double faults. So Medvedev served 7 double faults when they played. They played very similar. Very similar, but again, Medvedev just won the points that mattered. He won those break points. Also, 8s across the board that day for Medvedev as well on his shot quality. But again, Michelsen's not far away from Medvedev. It's just the break points Medvedev's converted against Michelsen. So Michelsen, it's shit that he's not getting the win, or at least getting anything to show for it. It looks like, he lost in straight sets. But he isn't that far away. At least from a statistical point of view. Medvedev is playing better today than he did play in Brisbane, for sure. As Michelsen hits a lovely forehand cross-court 30 love. But Michelsen, Medvedev's playing a lot better today than he did against Michelsen in Brisbane. But again, they both had, they both had chances to break. Michelsen's been broken a lot more. Medvedev's a lot harder to break today, though. Michelsen's he's at an 8.0 performance rating. That's a good rating. That's a great rating. Against most other players, you win. His performance rating over the last 12 months is a 7.1. So he's playing great. He's playing a great match, Michelsen. He's playing a high-level match, but he's just not playing better than Medvedev. All right. 40 love, Michelsen, to make Medvedev serve for the match. So Michelsen must be pissed because he's like, I'm not that far behind this guy. I just don't have anything to show for it. And having a look here, Michelsen's been, like, the last couple of tournaments, his performance rating has gone up. He played, it wasn't great in Auckland, but Delray Beach, Dallas, Delray Beach, and Indian Wells, he's like a 7.6, 7.7 average on performance, rating. So, and that's way above his average. So Michelsen is having a good year. He's playing some good quality tennis. And 4th round Indian Wells is not nothing. Like, this is a good result for anybody who makes a 4th round. 4th round as a low seed or an unseeded player is a good result. Michelsen holds. And Medvedev's going to serve for the match. Might just be a bad matchup for Michelsen, That could also be true. All right. 6-5 Bencic. Pegula serving to get to the breaker. Again, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got plenty more tennis to go today. And then tomorrow we go nuts. We've got Alcaraz coming up against Ruud after this Pegula match as she serves an ace. 15 love. Yep, the winner of the Medvedev match will take on Djokovic or Draper. And the winner of this Pegula Bencic match will take on Raducanu or Cartel. Backhand rally. Bencic up the line. Pegula slices it back into the forehand of Bencic. Pegula forehand again to the forehand of Bencic. Bencic hits it wide as she tries to hit a winner. 30 love. Pegula serves again. Return goes into the backhand of Pegula. Forehand from Bencic. To the backhand of Pegula. Bencic wins the point. Pegula overhit it. 30-15. Medvedev going to serve for the match. All right, 30-15. Pegula serves. Into the backhand of Bencic. Backhand of Pegula goes long. 30-all. Chance for Bencic to steal the set. And Medvedev hits a backhand out. Love 15. All right, and the crowd in the Pegula match are trying to get her fired up. And she serves into the forehand of Bencic. Forehand of Pegula is sliced. Bencic with a lob. Goes long. And Pegula, 40-30, as Bencic slaps her shoe with a racket. That was a big old slap. All right, Medvedev 15-all, forehand rally as we get to backhand Medvedev on the stretch. Michelsen takes over, but overhits it. Another error. 30-15. As that goes out on the return, Bencic. Pegula gets to the tiebreak. 6-all. Who's winning the tiebreak, chat? Go on, tell me. Who you got? Who you got? As Medvedev serves 30-15, he serves a fault. Second serve. Can Bencic take us to a third, or will it be over in straights? As Medvedev, double faults. 30-all. All right, 30-all. Medvedev serves again. A lot of people going Pegula. Bencic wants 3. Bencic, Belinda. Bencic, Pegula, Jesse, JPEG. All right. Medvedev with match point. 40-30. To put himself in another quarterfinal at Indian Wells. The tournament that he hates the most. All right. Maybe it likes the least. The hard court that he just doesn't like. I mean, it's faster now, so maybe he does like it. All right, return goes into the forehand Medvedev. Michelsen backhand. Into the backhand of Medvedev is Michelsen. Backhand on the stretch. Medvedev forehand cross. Michelsen gets it and puts it away. All right. Michelsen gets the deuce. As Pegula with an ace. 2-love in the tiebreak. 2-0. I reckon Medvedev doesn't hate Indian Wells as much as he did maybe 4 years ago. When you've made the semi-finals 3 years in a row, also they made the courts quicker, so maybe I would love to hear Medvedev's opinion on the courts this year. Because this is the year that they've made the courts faster. I wonder if he likes it better this year. He's probably the best opinion we need. Anyways, that goes off the tape by Bencic, and it's too good. Pegula cannot reach it. And it's 2-1 Pegula, but it's on serve. Also, Michelsen's got a break point. Medvedev serves the forehand Michelsen. Return goes into the forehand Medvedev. Michelsen backhand. Into the forehand Medvedev is Michelsen. Backhand on the attack. Medvedev pass. Michelsen volley. Medvedev pass is a lob. Michelsen smash. He gets there. Medvedev backhand up the line. Michelsen slices it back. Medvedev gets that forehand into the forehand of Michelsen. Medvedev passing shot again. As with a volley again from Michelsen. Now Medi with a pass. And Michelsen in the net. Great rally from Medvedev. And Michelsen, both of them are just breathing heavy. They're looking at each other like, that was a long rally. Crazy rally from Medvedev. And Michelsen's like, I can't break this guy. What the hell? Great running from Medi. What a rally. As Pegula in the net, and it's 2-0. Oh, sorry, no, it hit the tape and went over. The crowd reaction said it was in. Said it was out. Said it was net. 3-1. I think Pegula got lucky with on the net. Anyways, back to Medvedev. Deuce. As the return goes into the forehand, Medi up the line. Michelsen slices it back. Back into backhand rally as Michelsen slice. Medvedev with a volley. Okay. Passing shot is too good by Michelsen. Medvedev not that tall. Well, he is tall, but he's not that good at the net. A little bit close to the net, Medi. He couldn't reach. Advantage Michelsen. All right, 3-1 Pegula. Forehand to forehand rally. Slice now from Bencic. Into the backhand of Pegula. That drop shot is too good. 4-1 Pegula. As Medvedev points to the coach and gives a thumbs up because, you know, it's his fault. All right, Medvedev down break point, but serves an ace. And Michelsen can't believe it. Hawkeye, you done me dirty. 4-1 here, Pegula. As Medvedev serves, another ace. And Michelsen's losing his mind at these aces. All right. 4-2, by the way. Pegula gives one back. They change ends. Advantage Medvedev. Match point to get it done. He serves. Into the forehand of Michelsen. Backhand of Medvedev. Michelsen forehand. Into the forehand of Medi. Michelsen on the attack. Medvedev with a pass. Michelsen volley. Medvedev slice in the net. Great volley, Michelsen. Back to deuce. All right, back to deuce. Also 4-2 Pegula. As Pegula gets a 5-2. All right, 5-2. Bencic serves. As Medvedev gets to advantage. Match point number 3 for Medi. Match point number 3 to get out of this match. Serve out wide. Michelsen hits it short. Medvedev comes in and puts away the drive volley. Medvedev's into another quarterfinal of Indian Wells. I tell you, he might not like the courts, but he's consistent. And he wins. So, I mean, look, maybe he loves the court now. All right. Medvedev too good for Michelsen. All right. As Bencic puts away the forehand, and it's 5-3 Pegula. All right. We're going to merge the streams real quick. So if you want to jump on over to the watch the rest of this tie break. We've got Alcaraz coming up next, so jump on over. But good win from Medvedev. He gets it done in the end. And he's going to play Djokovic or Draper. We're watching that tonight. Make sure you join us for that. All right. As Bencic serves. And that goes out by Bencic. And we got match points for Pegula. To put herself in the quarterfinals and take on either Raducanu or Cartel in the Indian Wells quarterfinals, Jessica Pegula serves. Down the middle to the forehand of Bencic. Slice from Pegula into the forehand of Bencic. As Pegula forehand down the middle again. Bencic in control. Slice Pegula in the net. One saved. 6-4 Pegula. 6-4. All right, match point number 2. 6-4. Serve. Into the forehand of Bencic. Pegula forehand up the line. Bencic with the backhand to the backhand of Pegula. Pegula in the net. 6-5. Okay. 6-5. Pegula. Still match point. But back on serve. 6-5. Serve again. Bencic. Into the forehand of Pegula. Return the forehand of Bencic. Pegula, forehand. Inside out, great shot. Bencic slice. Pegula comes in, puts it away. There it is. The first win against Bencic in 5 meetings. Pegula gets it done in straight sets. And they're having a nice chat at the net. Bencic had a good week. You know, getting the 4th round, as I said, is not nothing. But Pegula's into the quarters. Gosh, she's doing all right. She's doing all right this year. And she's into the quarterfinals of another 1,000 tournament. And she's going to take on the winner of Raducanu and Cartel, who are coming up later. We're going to watch that one later. But great win for Jess Pegula against somebody that she's really struggled with in the past. So that was a huge win to get that win, especially considering she'd never won a set before today. Consistent queen. Oh, yeah. She is one of the most consistent players on tour. And she is through to the quarterfinals. Is this her first quarterfinal at Indian Wells? Let me check. Probably, right? Maybe? Oh, no. I think she made a quarterfinal before. I think she lost to Swiatek here once. Maybe. Oh, no. Quarterfinals, yeah. Quarterfinals in 2021. And she lost to Azarenka when she was outside the top. They were both outside the top 10. So, yeah. She played. By the way, Indian Wells 2021, no top 10 players got into the quarters except for maybe Kerber was top 10. I don't know. It's a weird tournament. But anyways, we'll study it one day. So, yeah, second quarterfinal here. Back-to-back quarterfinals at 1000s. Also, big tournament quarterfinals. She's made semifinals of Australian Open, won Dubai, and now she's in the quarters here. I mean, Pegula, she didn't play Doha. Pegula's having a great year. Like, she is having a very, very good year. A very good start to the year. Like, semifinals of a slam, wins a 1000, and now she's in the quarterfinals of Indian Wells. And if she makes the semis, like, she could make the final here. I mean, Raducanu, Swiatek are the big threats at the moment, and maybe Svitolina. But I mean, she just beat Svitolina, so she got to like her chances. Yeah, Pegula's having a great start to the season. So let me look at the rankings, because I know her ranking's been floating around the middle of the top 10. So yeah, if she wins, makes the semis, she'll be number. Hang on a second. Whoa. Okay, stop everything. If she wins the title and Raducanu and Swiatek lose today, Swiatek loses in the quarters and Raducanu loses today, she'll be number 2 in the world. Like, Pegula has a legitimate chance of being number 2. We're talking about Swiatek, Raducanu going back and forth. Pegula wins this title, she's number 2, or at least in the running for number 2. That's crazy. That's crazy. No one's talking about that. I think if she overtakes Coco, and let's say she beats Raducanu, then we'll start talking about, like, hang on a second, she might be able to. She's like top 3. I mean, but Pegula is. I mean, the WTA have a big 5. Pegula is in that, the Fab 5, and she's in that category. She's ahead of Anisimova by 500. And she's very close to Coco and very close to Raducanu and Swiatek at number 2 and 3. So, if she wins this title, Pegula could be number 2 by the end of the week. That's insane. It just shows how consistent she is and how good she is. That'd be awesome, to be honest. If she got to number 2, after we've been like Swiatek, Raducanu, Pegula? Like, she just jumps the line? That would be kind of crazy. Awesome to see, though. Yeah, but she's had a great season. Great start to the year. In the live race to the finals, she's currently number 2. But if she does win this tournament, she'll be the number 1 in the race to the finals, which means she's had the best year, right? She's won the most ranking points for the season. She's number 2 ahead of Sabalenka right now. But if she wins the title and Raducanu, I think if Raducanu loses, Well, she's going to have to beat Raducanu for the title to get to the title. But yeah, she could be the best player of the year so far. Is she player of the year and we didn't even know it? Is she player of the year? She might be. We're going to do a review after the Miami. We're going to have to do a player of the year review, but she might be player of the year. Anyways, Pegula, again, so underrated. Silent Slayer. She is a silent slayer. All right, now, talking about slayers, we got Alcaraz coming up next. He is not a silent slayer. He is he's the best player in the world. Yeah, she is. Yeah, sneaky Pegula. She's very sneaky. But I love that. I love that she's the most under the radar player right now. Like, even when she gets to the quarters. I mean, we're talking about her now because we're watching her, but yeah, she is so underrated. All right. Anyways, Alcaraz coming up next. He is going to take on Casper Ruud. And I wanted this match when I saw the draw. I wanted to see what Ruud could do on a day, which I'm glad they're playing during the day, on a day session with that ripped forehand. So I'm excited to see if Casper can rip that forehand and give any trouble to Alcaraz. He did trouble Alcaraz last year when they played in Tokyo. So, yeah, let's have it. Pegula into a quarterfinal again this year. And she's into the Indian Wells quarterfinal for the second time. She's going to take on the winner of Raducanu Cartel. They are coming up later. We're going to watch that a little bit later. But, yeah, what a win. Beats Bencic for the first time.